So Georgia is heading to Turin with Lock Me In by Circus Mircus. But should they be getting locked out of the Eurovision final with this one? Let's review Eurovision. Yes, so Georgia is back Georgia is heading to Turin with Lock Me In. Obviously, last year, their entry, I mean, it wasn't dead last, was it? It
should have been. It was horrible.
Absolutely should have been. What was it, second last? Must have been.
It was very near the bottom. Yes. It wasn't good.
I can't even remember what it was. I can picture it in my head. I can hear it. And it was a dead weight on the whole competition.
It was You by Tornike Capiani, and it was the musical equivalent of a lobotomy.
yeah, I'd say that. But they're back this year with Lock Me In. Jack, what do you make of it?
I don't really make anything. It's just shit. It's really just... What is the point? I get Georgia want to be different. I get it, right? I appreciate that you are trying to think outside of the box, but then the box is in a room. You've set the room on fire. That's how outside of the box you are. And it's just not good. You can be outside of the box and you can be different and it still be good. How come Georgia is missing the mark every single year? I don't get it. What are they trying to not win? That's the only explanation. They're just doing it to show up and just sort of carry on their participation record.
That is an interesting point, because I actually just think that I don't know why they turn up.
Why do they turn up?
Why? What is the actual point of just... Yeah, for me, they just send crap every single time, and I just don't get it.
And it's bizarre because at Junior Eurovision, they do occasionally send things that are all right, and they're the only country to win Junior Eurovision 3 times. The only country. It's bizarre then that they keep on sending this crap to Eurovision. I mean, like, if you're not going to be competitive, what's the point? Like, what is the point? And this is so just, it's a mess. It's one thing, and then it flips to another, and then it's this, and then it's that, and then it's just, it makes me feel sick. Like the fact that they're constantly changing between rhythms and types of song. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. And Georgia either need to sort it out. I said this in last year's review as well. Georgia either need to sort it out or just not bother and quit, because it's not good enough. It's really, really not good enough. And Georgia, yet again, should be embarrassed by this. But then if they're embarrassed every year, the embarrassment wears off. So maybe they're not embarrassed anymore. They should be. I would be.
Yeah, it's like if you wear a terrible jumper enough times, you just start to kind of... You're like, this isn't even embarrassing anymore. This is just my vibe. That is not Georgia. Jumper? They're like, no, it was just the first thing that popped into my head, because I was like, oh, we're both in jumpers. So
that's fair enough.
Jumper. It's a nice jumper.
My eyes on you.
It's a bit Christmassy.
It's a little bit Nordic. Yeah, I quite like it.
Yeah. No,
sorry, carry on.
That was in no way a reflection on your jumper.
But I'm glad.
Thank you. Yeah, for me, Georgia, what is the point of Georgia going to Eurovision? I mean, it costs them money to, put forward these acts. It costs money to participate. They have to put effort into staging. And each year, it's just consistently crap. When was the last time they made a final? I can't remember.
2016 was the last time. With something not dissimilar to this, actually. There wasn't that different.
Yeah. So, as a general point, Georgia doesn't seem to try, and it's really frustrating to see it each time. I'd love to, turn up to one of these competitions this year and be like, wow, Georgia's entry is actually really interesting. Just never is. And because the chorus sounds completely different to kind of the first verse. Like the two just don't match, and there's so much kind of variety, and I can't be bothered. Yeah, I'm tapping out on this episode, because it's just frustrating. So Georgia is performing in the second semi-final. Can't remember whereabouts. Don't think it really matters. Do we think it's going to qualify? Where would we put it personally, Jack?
Okay, so in my personal ranking, it's number 39. My least favorite is Latvia, because whereas that I think is actively offensive, this I just really dislike. So I mean, if you're more offensive, then that means you do get dropped down. It strangely, this could qualify. I see there is a universe where this could make it through, because if 2016's entry from Georgia can make it through, which it shouldn't really, it was awful, one of the worst final entries ever. If that can make it through, maybe this will. And it's the same sort of just manic, it makes no sense randomness that people actually might quite like. So I'm not going to rule it out. It could make it through. I don't want it to at all, but it could.
Yeah, I'm on a similar page. It's just, for me, yes, it should not get through, but it might. For me, it's my number 34. Probably should be lower on reflection. Probably should be dead last. But yeah, Georgia national broadcaster, if by any stretch you come across this YouTube video, please start trying with your entries, because I'm so tired of this. You know, you have neighbours who try. Azerbaijan tries. Other states around the Caucasus try. Why can't you? It's really frustrating. Thank you. Yes, that's my personal plea to the Georgian national broadcaster. And that is it. And that marks the end of this episode of Eurovision. Let us know if you agree or disagree. And don't forget to like and subscribe, of course. But that's it from this episode. We'll see you next time.